Hello children, welcome to the next class of biology. Today we are going to start a new chapter in biology and that is conservation of plants and animals. In case of me and you, we like to go to a place where we can see variety of plants and animals. Am I right children? Yes, we love to go to a place where we can see different types of plants, some animals, and even other natural resources also. We love nature, and that's why we prefer to go to villages, native places, or countryside places, etc. It is immensely rich with different types of plants, animals, and other non-living natural resources also. There comes a question. If we don't utilize it wisely, what will happen? What will happen to the fate of those natural resources in the coming generation? And this chapter, it is actually an eye opener for you and will give you about some of the conservation techniques of the natural resources, especially plants and animals. Before going to the details of the chapter, let us see what the word conservation means. Conservation means a wise and judicious use of all natural resources, whether it is a living or non living resource. It should be utilized wisely, judiciously, and we have to keep it in mind that it has to be available for the next generation also. And there are two main aims of conservation. The first one, we have to preserve the quality of the environment. How we got it in the same way, qualitatively in the same way, it should be given to the next generation. Second one, we have to make sure that and the resources should be available continuously for the future generation. So two main aims of conservation: to preserve the quality of environment. Second, to ensure the continuous availability of plants, animals, and all materials for future generation. Right, children? Yes. Now, in this chapter, first we are going to discuss about deforestation. I'm sure that you have come across this term many times, and you are well aware about the term deforestation. Before going to the details of deforestation, let us see some of the facts of forestry in India. And in India, forestry, it has a very significant role, and it is a significant rural industry, and it is one of the major environmental resource. Coming to the land use, and you know that when we are majorly depending on agriculture, and we use our land at max for agriculture purposes. Forest is a second largest land use in India, and that is next to agriculture. Then in India, about 21.67% of the land is covered with forest. And in India is one among the 10 most forest rich countries in the world. And we are one among the 10 most forest rich countries in the world. Together, almost 67% land cover is from these 10 countries. And we are one among that. We can be proud about that. But because of the overusage or because of the unwanted cuttings and all, we are destructing our forest. And the large scale cutting of trees and clearing of forest is called deforestation. The term, it's very, very, very important. We should keep that in mind, that forest is one of the major resource what we have, especially in India, and that should be taken up well. But what we do now, we are unnecessarily clearing our forests. We are doing the process of deforestation. This is one of the major threat to our environment. Why? Why we are doing this process? Because plants have various roles in our lives. We use plants for different purposes, like for wood or as a timber, and we have we use plants at our maximum, right? And not only as a wood and timber for construction purposes and even in factories and like in houses or roads etc for constructions, or that there are many industries based on the wood, or based on the plant and plant products. The third reason for the deforestation is increased mining activities. The fourth one is lowering of water table. And plants, they have a major role in the cycling up of water back to the environment. When we keep on cut plants, there will be lesser number of plants, or the transpiration rate will be less. So evaporation rate will be less, and it will be affecting even the average rainfall. When rainfall will not be sufficient, of course, the groundwater table also will be lowered. And that's why we are facing, scarcity of water, drought during summer season, especially. Then another reason for deforestation is also a natural one, that is forest fire. And especially during summer season, you can see that, due to increased temperature, forest fires can happen. So these are the various reasons of deforestation. Let us see the consequences of deforestation. Yes, I told you plants, they have a very important role in controlling the climate of a place, because through the process of transpiration it increases the moisture level of the particular place. So if plants are not there, and it will be leading to lesser rainfall of the particular place. And not only lesser rainfall, it can also reduces the water table. If rainfall is lesser, what will happen? Of course, the groundwater table, it will be lowered. Water which is available in the ground will be, lesser. And coming to the second point, that like plants, they can be called as natural purifiers. Why we call them as natural purifiers? Because plants, what they do in photosynthesis, they take up carbon dioxide inside. Am I right? You know that carbon dioxide is one of the most powerful air pollutant. And what plants they do during photosynthesis, that carbon dioxide will be taken up inside and be fixed in the form of carbohydrate. Instead, they release oxygen rich air outside. See? Naturally, they purify the air, and that's why we call plants as natural purifiers. And if deforestation happens, if we keep on cutting the trees, what will happen? There will be increased air pollution. Not only increased air pollution, it can also lead to soil erosion. How? Plants root system, they are the one which hold the soil particles together. If plants are lesser, what will happen? And the soil particles are being loosely arranged over there, and if any wind comes or rain comes, it can be easily blown away or washed away from the place, and that's called soil erosion. So deforestation can also lead to soil erosion. Now, coming to the third one, the forest is a place where you can see all wild animals live. That's a, natural place where they live. If it is being keep on happening, the deforestation, it's being happen continuously, what will happen? It will be a major threat to their life also. It will be a danger to their wildlife also. Now, the next reason is a rise in temperature. Coming to plants, plants, when they absorb carbon dioxide, I told it is one of the major air pollutant, and it is also a powerful greenhouse gas. And what does it do? And the greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide or any other greenhouse gas, they remain in the atmosphere and absorb the sun's rays, that thereby it increases the temperature of the particular place. And if plants are not there, there will be increased level of carbon dioxide due to the lack of photosynthesis, and thereby it is increasing the temperature of the area. So that's why you might have heard about global warming and all. Am I right? And that is due to the effect of, the greenhouse gases. And you should know that carbon dioxide is one of the most powerful greenhouse gas. Okay. And then the last consequence of deforestation, which is given in your book, it can also lead to, natural calamities such as floods, droughts, etc. Okay, dear children. Now, let us see the role of forest. Why we call forest, as, a natural renewable resource, or what is the use of forest. Now here already these are the points that we have discussed. And coming to the first one, I told you plants they have called as natural purifiers because they purify air through the process of photosynthesis. They take up carbon dioxide and releases oxygen. So they purify air and thereby it controls air pollution. Second one, it's a one which controls the climate and thereby it helps in the process of the rainfall. Coming to the third one, and when enough rainfall is here, of course the groundwater level also will be proper. It replenishes the groundwater. Coming to the fourth one, here I told you the plant's root system is the one which supports the soil particles together. It is the one which binds the soil particles together. So when enough plants are there, and it can bind the soil particles together, thereby the process of soil erosion can be reduced and the soil fertility can be maintained. Next one is it can provide variety of habitat to plants, animals, insects and all, right? And not only it can provide the living place for them, plants and all, and we will get different products from plants, like economically important products from plants in the form of wood, rubber, gum, resin, honey, etc., right? Yeah. And in addition to economically important products, some medicinal plants also can be produced by plants, like in forms of, fruits or berries or even various parts of the plant can be used. And especially tribal people, they depend mostly on, the plant and plant products. So, and there comes the importance of, the forest. And we have to preserve it. We have to conserve it as a natural resource. It is actually, you should know that it is a renewable resource and we have to take enough step to conserve it. It can be renewed, and if it is being exploited also, and if we take proper step to conserve it, it can be renewed, and we have to do that. And there comes the responsibility of a citizen. Let us see how to conserve forest and wildlife. First one is overgrazing by animals in the forest should be stopped. And we have specific departments to conserve forest and forest products. And as a responsible citizen, everybody have the responsibility to protect our forest, and either by stop cutting the trees or by planting more trees. So the large scale cutting of forests must be stopped. And not only the cutting of forest should be stopped, if any deforested land is there, or as a citizen, we have the responsibility to plant more and more trees. And from government side, every year in the month of July, 1st July to 7th July, and we observe Van Mahotsav by planting seedlings in large numbers. And this practice started in the year 1950s. And in our school also, in every celebration, every occasion, you might have seen that the guests are being honored by gifting, saplings. Am I right, kids? Yes. Then the next is forest fires must be checked. And not only forest fires should be checked, and the forest should be protected from insects and pests. And finally, all the ecological factors to be checked while constructing dams and roads. I hope it is clear for you. Thank you.